With help from our Section A exam lessons as well as our research into other horrors, we feel our use of mise-en-scene has improved. In the preliminary task, our goal was to create a short clip of a shady deal. However, the only way we achieved this was through one prop, which was the bags. Although this indicated that a deal was taking place, it didn't code a strong meaning, whereas in the final task we made sure that the use of props represented our character clearly. Therefore, to show that he was an exorcist, we used business cards that clearly showed to the audience his occupation.
Our use of costume design has also improved our mise-en-scene since the preliminary task. This is because for a typical shady deal, the characters would usually be dressed in baggy, dark clothes to hide their identities. However, in the preliminary task, we used suits and shirts. This is because we had already had these clothes on for sixth form. Therefore, our representations of the characters wasn't achieved. However, in the final task, we made sure that the costume of the exorcist represented his job and social class. We'd expect an exorcist to wear formal clothing and be smartly dressed.
Therefore, we dressed our exorcist in a shirt and trousers and a smart jumper at times. We also thought about the colours of the clothing because this could also help our representations of our character. The choice of a white shirt shows the idea that our character is innocent, and the use of black trousers links the character to death. This shows progression because we are starting to think about what clothes give the right impression of our character instead of just making them wear any clothes.
To help represent our characters as religious, we also added religious objects into our opening. The use of rosary beads and a Christian cross necklace also shows us that the characters are religious because these are seen as religious items. This shows our progression because we didn't use any items like this in the mise-en-scene of our preliminary task.
As a group, we feel that we used a wide range of camera shots and movements in the final task, whereas in the preliminary task we only used a couple of different shots. In the preliminary task we used a long shot close-up over the shoulder and two shot.
When we compare this to our final task, we can see the difference in the variety of shots. In our final task, the shots we used included a pan and shot, focus pull, close-up, mid-shot, extreme close-up, a long shot, a point-of-view shot, over-the-shoulder shot and a high-angle shot. These different shots help us represent the characters in different ways, as well as keeping the audience entertained.
As well as using a variety of shots, we also increased the number of shots. In the preliminary task, we used roughly 11 shots in 50 seconds. This made it less entertaining for the audience as they was waiting a long time for the shots to change and probably became bored at times.
However, when we planned the final task, we made sure that there was an increase in the number of shots used compared to the preliminary task. In our final task, we had roughly 30 shots in 2 minutes, which made it much more entertaining for the audience.
Overall, we feel as a group that our editing skills have improved. Although we showed some continuity editing skills, these were shot reverse shot, match on action and the 180-degree rule. When we compare these editing skills to the ones in our final task, they look a little bit basic. In the final task, using editing software Adobe Premiere Pro, we was able to make effects such as ghost effect, colour change and different transitions.
The ghost effect is an effect that we used on Adobe Premiere Pro. We added it to the clips of our character running through the forest. We decided to use this because it creates the effect of the character that the character is dreaming.
We also changed the colour of some scenes to give the effect that it happened in the past. We used this on the kitchen scenes to show that it was a flashback and he was dreaming about it. The major video transition we use has the dip to black transition. We use this to show that the time had passed between the shots and that it wasn't all at the same time. We also created our own transition between our character running through the forest and him waking up from his dream. We did this by getting our main character to run into the camera with his white shirt and then lifting the white sheet up when he woke up.
We feel that the audio in our final task has improved massively compared to the sound of the preliminary task. In a preliminary task there was a lot of background noise.
We could also hear the turning off of the camera a couple of times. However, with our final task we made sure that you couldn't hear the turning on and off of the camera and that there wasn't any background noise.
We did this by adding in some religious music. One show our subgenre was religious and also to cover up some of the background noise. This showed progression because it made our film a lot more professional sounding compared to the preliminary task.